Hello and welcome. As a hotelier professional with many years of experience in hotel performance and modern hospitality operations, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. Today, we're going to explore a really powerful concept that separates good service from truly legendary service, the architecture of invisible hospitality. We're going to break down how the best in the business build experiences that feel, well, like magic.
So let's start with the big idea. True hospitality, it isn't just a checklist of tasks to get done, it's all about human connection. And this quote, it really gets to the heart of it. We're not just in the service industry, we're in the business of creating feelings and memories. Every single interaction, no matter how small, is an emotional exchange that, piece by piece, builds the entire identity of a brand.
So, how do you actually build on that foundation of feeling? Well, it starts with a pretty huge shift in mindset. You got to move away from that old school top-down style of management and move towards a culture where everyone shares ownership of the guest's happiness. That's the only goal that matters.
And this right here is the crucial point. When every single person on the team feels personally invested in a guest's day, when they truly see themselves as stakeholders, the whole dynamic just changes. Suddenly, creating that magic isn't one person's job or one department's responsibility. It becomes a shared collective mission. It's a team sport.
This brings us to the very first pillar of our architecture. I mean, if we're building a culture based on human connection, the construction has to start with the right materials, right? And that means hiring the right people from the very beginning.
This philosophy is called hiring for heart, and what's so powerful about it is that it completely flips the traditional way of hiring on its head. Look, you can teach almost anyone the technical skills, how to use the reservation system, how to properly set a table, but what you can't teach is genuine warmth. You can't teach empathy or the instinct to care, and those are the traits we have to build on.
So these are the non-negotiables, the real building blocks. You've got innate empathy, which lets a team member feel what a guest is feeling. Natural curiosity, which drives them to learn more. A genuine desire to care. That's the engine behind everything. And observational depth? Now that's the secret sauce. That's the art of seeing what a guest needs before they even ask.
Okay, so you've hired a team with heart. Fantastic. What's next? Well, our second pillar is about giving them the freedom to actually use it. This is all about empowering your team, turning them into artisans of hospitality.
You know, empowerment can feel like just another corporate buzzword, but it's a real, concrete strategy. It means cutting the red tape that prevents someone from making a guest stay. It all comes down to trust. Trusting your people to make great decisions in the moment and unlock their full potential.
I absolutely love this quote because it captures the transformation perfectly. When employees are truly empowered, they stop feeling like they're just another cog in a giant machine. They become craftspeople. They start taking immense personal pride in creating beautiful, memorable experiences. They become artisans.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's pretty straightforward. First, you have to grant them the authority to make decisions right then and there. Second, give them the resources they need to follow through. Third, and this is a big one, get rid of those complex approval processes that just slow everything down. And finally, celebrate their successes to build that deep sense of professional pride.
Our third pillar is all about reinforcement. You see, a great culture isn't something you build once and then just forget about. It has to be constantly nurtured. And that happens through continuous education and, just as importantly, storytelling.
Now, the kind of education we're talking about here goes way beyond a dusty training manual. This is about immersing the entire team in the why we do what we do. You do this by sharing stories of incredible service, which become part of the living legend of your hotel, and by training everyone's senses to pick up on those tiny, invisible guest cues.
And here's the crucial point. The objective here isn't defensive. We're not just playing to avoid mistakes or prevent complaints. No, we are playing offense. We are proactively trying to create positive, legendary stories that guests will remember and share for the rest of their lives.
And that leads us right into our fourth pillar, the relentless pursuit of perfection. It's about mastering the finest details, and it's all about that final, elusive 1%.
Think about this for a second. In almost any other industry, if you get something right 99% of the time, you're a star. That's an A-plus performance. But in the world of ultra-luxury hospitality, believe it or not, it's not quite enough.
And this slide just illustrates why perfectly. The difference between 99% and 100% isn't just 1%. It's the difference between a good stay, a perfectly fine, adequate experience, and a life-changing memory that a guest will carry with them forever. That tiny gap is where true luxury lives.
So to achieve that level of consistency, you have to completely change your relationship with mistakes. An error isn't a failure to be punished. It's data. It's a clue. It's an opportunity to learn, to fine-tune your process, and to get just that little bit closer to 100%. It's a laboratory, not a courtroom. So, we've built our 4 pillars, but any great arch isn't complete without that final, crucial piece, right? The keystone. That's the element that locks everything together and gives the entire structure its strength and integrity.
I want you to really think about this question. It's so simple, but it is profoundly important. How can we possibly expect our teams to pour genuine care, respect, and warmth out to our guests if their own cups are empty? The short answer is, we can't. You can't pour from an empty cup.
This is one of the most fundamental truths in our entire industry. The guest experience you create on the outside will, over time, become a perfect mirror of your internal team culture. Excellence has to start from within. It just has to.
And look, this isn't some abstract, fuzzy concept. It's demonstrated in very real, tangible ways. It's about creating a culture where every single employee feels respected and valued. It's about providing high-quality staff facilities, investing in their professional growth, and building a community where they feel supported. So to bring this entire architecture together, exceptional service isn't something you can force or demand. It's the natural, almost effortless result. It's the overflow that comes from a team that is genuinely cared for, respected, and inspired by a shared purpose. The big takeaway here is that true, legendary hospitality lives in the details that most people never even see. It's an architecture built on heart, empowerment, and most importantly, culture. So as you go forward to begin your amazing careers, the question I'll leave you with is this: what invisible detail will you perfect first? I wish you every success,